Great day, virtual learners. How's everyone doing? I hope you're still staying safe with your families. I know you're all excited for another day of learning, so let's not beat around the bush and let's start our lesson for today. Our session for today will be focusing on this most essential learning competence, which is to give technical and operational definitions. Our discussion is going to be divided into two parts, and our specific learning objectives to be fully attained till our next session in the coming week are the following. Number one, give expanded definitions of words. Number two, get familiar with the technical terms used in research. And number three, give technical and operational definitions. We are going to utilize the module on making definitions, technical versus operational, offered by Ma'am Evseda, Teacher 1 from Valenzuela National High School. Before we move on, a little reminder goes to everyone. Be polite and respectful at all times. Comment what is necessary and relevant. If something is unclear and a little shaky, you can ask questions later in the question and answer part. Just take note of them and I would be willing to address your concerns the best way I can. Meantime, for us to know and recognize the active learners I have now online, please key in the word present, your grade and section, and the name of your school in the comment box. With that, let us start. I will share some images and I want you to type the word or words you can think of that is connected in the image you will see. You'll be given 10 seconds per image to type your answer. Here is the first image. Vaccine may be associated with the terms cure or immunity, but according to Merriam-Webster, vaccine is a preparation that is administered as by injection to stimulate the body's immunity response against a specific infectious disease. On the other hand, our research from the World Health Organization defined vaccine as a way that is used to train your immune system to create antibodies, just as it does when it is exposed to a disease. Let's have our last image. Type your answers in the comment box. Pandemic may be associated with the terms disease or outbreak. Merriam-Webster defined pandemic as an outbreak of a disease that occurs over a wide geographic area, such as multiple countries or continents, and typically affects a significant proportion of the population. A study conducted by the World Health Organization explained pandemic as an epidemic occurring worldwide or over a very wide area, crossing international boundaries and usually affecting a large number of people. Based from what we have seen, you have a lot of vocabulary words that you use to associate and give meaning to the images that I have flashed. We have defined the terms based on our own understanding and gave meaning to it. However, we have also provided meaning from the dictionary and defined terms on researches in connection to them. Now, let us talk about what definition is. According to Merriam-Webster, definition is a statement of the meaning of a word or word group, or a sign or a symbol, which means that definition helps us to understand and derive meaning of a word or words that we are encountering. It is important for us to understand the purpose of defining terms. because when we're defining, it should be clear and well stated in accordance to what the field of experts say, or how the terms are defined and function in a particular research study. That is to make way in ensuring that a term or concept is easier to understand and interpret to avoid ambiguous meaning which could lead to misinterpretation. Now, when do we use definitions? Number one, when your writing contains a term that may be key to audience understanding and that term could be likely be unfamiliar to them. When there are unfamiliar terms or terms included in the piece of writing that you are presenting, it is important that we make sure that our audience would understand them. This is to make sure that we are helping our audience understand the content of our writing. Number two, when a commonly used word or phrase has layers of subjectivity or evaluation in the way you choose to define it. Giving correct and precise definition is critical when a commonly used word is incorporated in your piece of writing. This is because our personal understanding influences our definition of a word. Therefore, seeking the definition suited in context for the word is a must. Number three, when the etymology or the origin and history of a common word might prove interesting or will help expand upon a point. We could also dig deep into the origin and history of the word, which could help us understand more of the meaning of the word that we are encountering. This could also give us an expansion of idea of how the word could be used. There are different types of definitions that you can use, but we will focus on technical and operational definitions. Now, what is technical definition? Technical definition is a detailed description of a term, process, phenomenon, or specialized words which belong or relate to a particular subject. It is commonly used to explain or describe technical terms, and this definition could be used in expanding the vocabulary since most of these terms are explained in the exact manner. Terms and definitions of the words found in dictionary are examples of technical definitions. When we talk about technical definitions, we are dealing with technical terms in a manner that is abstract, theoretical, and conceptual. It should also come from the field experts to make sure that the term is well defined and is properly explained to help the audience be familiarized with the term. For example, an editorial is a newspaper article written by or on behalf of an editor that gives an opinion on a topical issue. In the sentence, we can see that the term editorial is defined in a way that the experts in the field of journalism would do, giving the audience a clear grasp of what editorial means and its purpose. Now let us talk about operational definition. Operational definition is a description of something in terms of the operations, such as procedures, actions, or processes, by which it could be observed and measured. This is commonly used to describe exactly what the variables are and how they are measured within the context of the research study. Operational definitions, on the other hand, targets defining words in a particular way that is used within a specific context. It deals with how a particular variable is measured and applied for. The operational definition of a term should be concrete and precise. For example, the fastest ball is the one that crosses the finish line before all the other balls. If we look into this example, The term fastest ball is precisely defined as the one that crosses the finish line before all the other, which clearly paints a clear context in the audience's minds. This definition is in no way technical, but is operational because it can be measured and observed within the context of a research study. The key points that I want you to remember in this lesson is technical definition is the practical meaning of a word or term. It refers to the aspect of explaining or describing any technical terms or terminology. The exact vocabulary or the mechanical and scientific way definition. Operational terms leans more on the application of the word. It includes the various attempts to define or explain a certain process or its properties. And it focuses in articulating the definition of its processes and its properties. I hope you have listened well today, so the next time you would define terms, it will be easy as one. Number 5, a chair is a piece of furniture for one person to sit on, having 4 legs. Is it technical or operational definition? And your time is up. I will now be reading your questions that you have posted in the comment section. Thank you to our teacher moderator for gathering the questions. The questions will not be addressed today, will be discussed and answered by your subject teacher in the follow-up discussion tomorrow. Our first inquiry is from Bagbagi National High School. The question is, what is the importance of defining terms? The importance of defining terms is that we can make sure that we and our audience are at the same page, meaning we know that we are talking about the same thing. Defining terms would also help us explain the term or concept to our audience to help them understand what we are talking about. Our next question is from Apulang Lupa National High School. The question is, how can defining terms promote understanding in writing? If we know how to define terms, it is certain that the audience would know and understand what we are discussing. Therefore, it would help them grasp what it is we are explaining. And finally, a question from Jen P. De Leon National High School. How can we define terms effectively? We can define terms effectively if we are a wide reader, if we are exposed into reading and researching terms or concepts that we don't know. Being curious about something will help us to look harder and learn more about new things. Thank you, learners, for posting your questions. For today's streaming, you can watch the replay if you want to look at the important points of our discussion. I hope you had a fun time learning today. Learning new things sure is fun, right? Your English teachers will be checking on your progress in your follow-up discussion via Facebook Messenger, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet. This has been Ma'am Rosha Kate Emas, your live streaming teacher. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Let me leave you with this quote by Kevin Costner. When a defining moment comes along, you define the moment, or the moment defines you. Remember, stay home, stay safe. God bless everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day.